food, and more.
Good morning. Let me turn this thing down here. So we're getting ready to head out Friday, March 11th, and I finally found the bit, the tool bit for my trailer for these. I kept trying all these different torque bits, and then finally I was like, well, let me try the square. Let me see if you could focus on this. See how that's like a torque bit? So I took a square bit and it actually fit perfect. So what I did is I lettered up my trailer, but not the way you think. Check it out. Use of yard sign. Boom. So now what I did is I just took the yard sign, and this is one that's pretty yuck. I got some nice ones right there from last year still, the 2015 season. I got some nice ones sitting there. This one's kind of marked up, so I use this one as a template, but what I did is I took the rivet, they're not rivets, they're sheet metal screws, but I took the sheet metal screws out. I didn't take these out, but I did this one, this one, this one, this one. I didn't do this one because that would screw up the RF code, or the QR code, and I did this one and this one. I'm going to do this one and this one. So it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We just won't do this one. Wait, 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We just won't do this one because that'll screw up the reader. So you're saying to yourselves, well, why'd you do that? Why not just go get some vinyl? Well, there's a reason. I'm a multifaceted business, right? So one month I might want to advertise lawn care. Like right now I got some openings, and I want to start loading up some of these openings with some $45, $50 lawns. And if I can do that, great. In the meantime, I'll use a time that I have to do some pressure washing. But let's say I max out my lawns, and I'm good with my lawns. I got enough lawns, I don't want any more lawns. Then I unscrew those bolts, and I use this template, this one, because I'll have the nice one up there now. So I use this one as a template, and I line it up. I have to order some new yard signs for pressure washing, but I take pressure washing yard signs and with my flat rate pricing on there, and who knows, maybe in a few months I might go from 70 and 120 to 80 and 120. There's a guy who's flat rating right now 90, 110. So maybe I'll go 80, 120. You know what I'm saying? But he's got like the peel and stick gold letters on a SUV, and you can't even see them. But I mean, that's that's what he's got. But so I could take this lawn care yard sign off and throw up my pressure washing yard sign, which I don't know where it is. I think it's in my truck, but it looks pretty much like this. So I put this yard sign, that's a magnet, but this yard sign on the back of the trailer. So I could be advertising house washing or lawn care. And I don't want to do both because then it looks kind of cheesy. But there's a lawn care sign right there. And I was asked yesterday to show how I was asked a while ago how I put my yard signs up, how I mount them. That's all I do, man. I just shove it behind something when I get somewhere. Now, if I'm just cruising around the neighborhood, that can stay there. But if I'm getting onto a road and I'm going to be doing, 35 miles per hour or faster, then I'll take that sign and lay it down or something because I don't want it, bending and blowing around. But when I get to where I'm going, I just stick it up like that. And, that's when I had an open trailer with no signage on it. But you see, so now I got this here for when I'm driving around, but when I'm, at a job and it's closed, then I have the side here that I can do also. And I'm thinking about doing the same thing. Just putting the lawn care sign up. I like having the QR code. Somebody can drive by and just snap a picture and they're in my website. And then from there they have all my information to contact me. And there's some before and afters, and then it shows pressure washing and all that. So I don't know. I just think it's a good use of space. It's free. I'm not going to be putting yard signs out for lawn care this year because I just don't need to. I would rather now just take those signs and use them, and hey, it's what I do and it's how to contact me. The only thing that's not on there is the price, and that's because I'm raising my prices. So I have like them old ones, lawn care $30, includes cut, edge, weed eat, blow. That's cool, but I'm not really so much trying to do that anymore. That was last year. That was building up. Now it's time to, you know, just like I said in the other video, you know, the lawn care low baller video I did. You know, now it's time to start bringing it up from averaging like $34, $35 a lawn. I want to start averaging like $38, $39 a yard this year. Do a little bit less work, make a little bit more money. You know what I'm saying? And add my pressure washing to it. So boom, there you go, lawn care. There's a sign, free sign. Have them laying around now. You know, they were bought and paid for last year. So got a bunch of them. I got 2 or 3 sitting back there on the floor. There's more back there behind the ladder you might be able to see. So I can at least put it on the ramp. So when I'm driving around, people are in traffic, you know, they have that. And I just haven't figured out what to do here yet. Not sure if it's a good idea to use those, because you really got to make sure that it's attached right, because if the wind gets a little bit behind it, it'll rip it right off, you know what I'm saying? I could put some washers and just paint the washers white, put some washers on there to help make it a little bit more meaty. But right now my goal was just to get one on, get the old one on. Now I have a template, so I can line that up on new signs, mark it with a marker, you know, the holes, and just line it right up to the door now. It just goes zip out and zip in, right into the sheet metal and into the you know, the frame of the whatever the heck it's called, the framework, you know, in the ramp. And I can do the same thing right here. It's not something I'm going to change very often, but you know, right now it's lawn care season, so right now I'll leave that sign on, and I don't know, maybe September I start putting house wash signs back up and start building up clientele for the winter for house wash. And as I'm driving around finishing up my lawn care, I'll be advertising my house wash. We'll see. So that's the start. We got today was supposed to be an off day, and it turns out it's not an off day, so we're gonna do, I wanted to go do my truck today at my buddy's shop, but we got some calls, so we're gonna go do some work today. We got at least 3 to do, but I could do 6 because mine's due, my neighbor's due, and that neighbor's due. So I could do 3 here, and then I got 3 on the road to do. So I could do 6 today if I want to work that hard. I'm in shorts. It's freaking nice out, gorgeous. So I'm all hooked up, so let's go to work. All right, so what do you think of that, huh? That's pretty neat. Pretty good use of old signs there. It's, you know, not going to use them. So, you know, they want like, gosh, I don't know. I went to this place, KPC or something like that. KPC signs. I went there a little while ago, and she was talking like $100 a side or something like that. Basically to do that exact thing. In fact, I took her the magnet, or no, I took her a pressure wash yard sign, and I said, I want this 5 foot by 3 foot, you know, in white letters to go on the charcoal trailer. And it was going to be like $100 a side for, you know, that's $200, and I think it was like $80 for the back door because it's a little bit smaller. I mean, you're looking at $300 freaking dollars. If I let her up my trailer for $300, I have to get $10, $30 yards for it to pay for itself. Or, you know, I have to get one $30 yard that I cut, you know, 10 times this year just to pay for the trailer. And it's like, man, that's 10 yards I have to cut to pay for the trailer. That's a lot of money, you know, and I don't need to do it. I don't have a need for that. That's just not something. I don't lay in bed awake thinking, oh man, I need to get signs on my trailer, because, you know, I got a lot of lawns. So, and, you know, and the signage on the trailer, like I said a while back, it's not about your business name, you know, but it's about what you do. You know, I mean, you want it to be nice, clean, and informative. So it's what you do, it's what you charge, and it's how to contact you. That's how I believe these billboards should be used. Maximize your time, because people's attention span is gone in 3 seconds, right? And look, the sign's still up behind me, and I'm doing 35. And it's really not even moving. So you just got to be careful. But if it's sticking up a little bit above your cab, it'll bend it over and start messing things up. So you got to make sure it's down a little ways, but whatever, it's there. But yeah, so, you know, that sign doesn't say what I charge, because it's so hard, you know, it really is hard. When I, like that $30 yard sign that I would use, I didn't get too many of those made up. but I would only put those in very, very specific areas that I was willing to do for $30 without doing any hedges or tree trimming, you know, like bringing up lower branches, nothing. Just mow, weed eat, edge, blow, go. 30 minutes, 5,000 square foot yards. That was basically all that I was interested in doing with those $30 yards, with those signs. But I don't want those signs on my trailer as I'm driving around yards that are $50, $60. You know what I'm saying? That's just not cool. And then you do look like a lowballer, you know, driving around with $30 yard signs, and you're in yards that people are easily getting $50 for, $60 for. You know, I'm getting $50 for, and I got $30 signs on my trailer. My customer's going to be like, "What's that?" You know, you're charging me $20 because you do my hedges. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, once a month, so you're charging me $40 for trimming some bushes. So I don't want that issue. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to get egged by other lawn services that see that. If that makes sense. So I'm just gonna, you know, just stick with the signs I have. Just lawn care and my phone number. There you go. So if they see me working, you know what I mean? And they see the lawn service, whatever. There it is, lawn care. There's my phone number. I mean, seriously, when you got your mower or your weed eater going or your blower going, and the people drive by and they see a mess in the yard, they know that you're obviously mowing the lawn. All you really need is a great big giant freaking phone number, and maybe the services that you provide. You know what I'm saying? That's really about it. People pretty much get it. You're a lawn guy. Now, if you're driving down the road, there's a chance sitting at a red light, like right now, somebody's behind me looking at my ramp, and they see that big white sign, and they're like, "Oh, honey, it's, you know what? We do need a lawn guy, you know, or are we gonna get the mower fixed for this year? And, you know, well, let's call this guy." Then there you go. You know, that's basically how I look at it. I don't think my trailer is going to build my business, but there is the opportunity to get a few here and a few there. So I don't want to, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to put too much money into lettering up my trailer. Now, I do want to use my trailer, though, to build up my pressure wash business, because that's not something, I mean, there's lawn guys everywhere. And so that's why I don't think people are waiting for a nice looking trailer to go by to call a lawn guy. They're just going to look down the road at the 13 trailers that are sitting on their block mowing yards, and they're just going to go down there to one of those guys and just say, "Hey, how much you charge?" "Okay, what can you do it?" "Okay, great, here you go." And it's a done deal. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to like pressure washing and house wash and stuff like that, we're few and far in between. You know what I'm saying? There's not 13 of us sitting on somebody's street right now. We're all out there, kind of. You don't see us. you don't see us all over the place. I see the same. Let's see. I see the same 2 people all the time. There's probably a ton of us out here pressure washing, but I see the same 2 competitors and me on the streets all the time, and I don't see anybody else. I see their signs, but I don't see them working anywhere. I see their advertisements, but I don't see them working anywhere. So I don't know where they're working at. Maybe on the east side. So I want to have my trailer to have the opportunity to also attract some pressure wash business. So I don't know. I'm going to leave this lawn care sign up for right now and see how this one does with driving and things like that. And then if everything works out, I'll probably order up some new pressure wash yard signs and go ahead and put that on my ramp. So like right now, people can be like, "Oh, look, this guy does the house wash, and you know, and it's only $80, or you know, or it's only whatever, $120 for our house." And that other guy wanted $150 or whatever because he had to drive out there and go on estimates and space. Nope, I don't do any of that. Just boom, there it is. I drive out there, I do the work, in and out, 30 minutes to an hour, $120, done. That's what I like. That's what I'm looking for. So. Let's go up here. Got a little bit of sporadic driving to do. I mean, we don't have a route right now. You know what I mean? My route driving doesn't start until March 21st, when Monday we start. Boom, there it is. You know, we got 10 yards, 11 yards in the route. Right now, we're just bebopping around town, keeping customers happy, getting them cleaned up because they're asking for cleanups. And one of them, this one here, I did a couple months ago with my son. Actually, it was horrible. and now he just said it needs like some trimming, and there's some Spanish moss and stuff that needs to be picked up, but no big deal. So I didn't even actually have my 0 turn at this time. I didn't have a mower at this time. I had the 52-inch John Deere. That was all I had, but it was sitting on consignment, and I didn't want to use it, so I just used a push mower with my son to do this 1 yard. And then we have this one, and then we have another one to do. Oh shoot! Oh. In Georgetown, and I don't normally work in Georgetown, but what the hell? They're really cool people. So he's got multiple homes, and I've done pressure washing for him at this house that I mow now, and at another house that he lives in, and he rents this one out. So it's kind of like, yeah, I'm gonna keep this guy my guy, because he's leading to bigger and better things. And then so I'll just pick up a couple in her area, which is, well, I got the signs up, and there's a lot of leaves out there too, so you can get some good leaf cleanup work too. And then gosh, that's 2. What's the third one? I can't think right now. I can't think which one the third one is. Oh crap. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I do my 3. And there was a 6th one, but now I'm drawing a blank, and I didn't write it down. It'll come to me. I'll remember who it is here shortly. So we're going to do some yards today, and that's just a little bit of, you know, insight on my train of thought for lettering up a trailer. Now another thing too is, if you know you got a pretty big business, and you know there's 2 different ways of lettering your trailer. You know, there's a way to letter your trailer that's solely to attract business, and another way to letter up your trailer is because you're just a bad dude, man, and you want your shit looking right. And that's awesome too, because I was big into race cars. I stock car race when I was coming up in my 20s and in my 30s, and we used to travel all over, and we had trailers, you know, enclosed trailers that were lettered up, and trucks that just looked badass, and our race cars were badass. I mean, everything that we did, you know, the graphics was spot on. And then you know, there's also that. So if you want to put that investment in because it looks badass, well, that's badass. I like that. You know, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to say don't do it, but you got to understand what's your goal with lettering your trailer, and what's your budget. So just make good use of the money is all I'm saying. But if your goal is just to look badass, then by golly, go out there and look badass. I mean, there's nothing wrong with looking badass. Badass gets you work too. People say, man, that's a nice outfit. You know, he's got pride. I want that guy. And some people will understand that, hey man, you got this guy over here in a dilapidated truck who's probably going to charge $30 and may show up next week, and you got this guy here who obviously is a professional, and he might want $50, but I can guarantee he's going to be back and he's going to do his job. And I mean, look at the pride. So you have that side of things too, where professionalism, you know, appearance is very important. Me personally, I'm not into all that right now. I just don't want to use my money for that. And my business is so close to being maxed out. Lettering up my trailer, really, just don't want to put that much money into it. But I also want to make good use of the space. So, you know, I got the lawn care signs up right now, but I have a feeling really soon I will be switching to the pressure wash signs, so I can build up my pressure wash business. So let's check out this yard. One thing that really sucks about corner lots is you get a lot of debris, you know, a lot of trash. People really love to throw crap out their doors and out their windows when they're sitting at a stoplight. Cigarettes, wrappers, bottles. So, you know, when you're pricing corner lots, man, you got to look at that, and you got to understand the first 5 minutes of you even showing up to these jobs is going to be walking around picking up debris, picking up trash. So he thinks I wasn't going to mow this one. He was like, yeah, you can just walk around with your weed eater. Yeah, my ass. I'm not walking around with my weed eater. Did he forget to unlock it? No, he unlocked it. Good. So I'll walk around, pick up some trash real quick, and then I'm going to mow. And there's some Spanish moss up here. So I'll pick up some of this Spanish moss for him. And the county comes out here for free. So what I'll do is I'll pick up the Spanish moss and then I'm gonna pile it up right over here for the county to come and get. This trash, I'll put this trash up in his trash can, which, if I remember right, is over here. He sure does have a lot of Spanish moss, but that's okay. This is almost considered a cleanup. He's not paying like a nasty cleanup fee, but he is paying a little bit more than just normal. So let me see what we got here. Yeah, there we go. Where's his trash cans? I need to find his trash cans. Okay, so anyways, this is the job for today. Now you see the trailer. Be nice to have a nice little sign there, lawn care or house wash or something like that. Truck's not sitting too bad, huh? I mean, I got everything in there right now. I can mow lawns, pressure wash, house wash, surface clean. I can do all types of everything right now. Trim trees, I can do it all with my little rig. All right, let's see how this sign's doing. Is it straight enough? Oh yeah, that looks straight enough, huh? I didn't even measure it, I just eyeballed it. I think that's straight. I mean, we're sitting kind of on like that, you know what I'm saying? The road's crowned. But it looks like it's pretty straight with the trailer. You know, it's not straight are the bumpers. Those little rubber stops that the trailer company put on. That one's lower than that one. That one's up higher. So that's a little bit of a throw off. But from the top of the trailer to the top of the trailer, going across the handles, oh yeah, man. You know, there's straight, there's level, and then there's what looks good. And sometimes straight and level doesn't always look good, because if everything else isn't. But this, I mean, that's a billboard right there. I can do some stuff there. I don't know. I haven't really decided. But I got a billboard right there. And I got space right here too, you know. So much room to put some information. I just want to make sure it's smart info. I don't want to just throw $300 out on pride. You know, having my name big in lights. And then here's the sign, so you get to where you're going. Just throw this up here somehow, some way. Boom. When people drive by and they take that number down, man, they're real quick to take that number down. Got a lawn guy working over there? Oh, no. So, all right. Easy day today, guys. Easy day. Be right back. Well, I did more than he was expecting. What he wanted me to do was pretty much just clean up the Spanish moss and just walk around pretty much with the Weedeater and just trim down spots that were kind of yuck. But I don't operate like that, you know. I can't do that. So I just did the full job, man. It just looks fantastic. It's all cleaned up, and you know, it just looks good. And I got a place to take all this Spanish moss at the next yard, so I'm just going to go there and get rid of the Spanish moss there. Otherwise, I could just leave a pile right here, and the county will come Monday and get it. But I got a place I can dispose it. So I overworked this one, but that's okay. It's done, and it looks good. And I got that down to 3 inches. So that took me a little bit of time. It took me an hour and 20 minutes to do this yard. But I also took a phone call in the middle of it for about 5 minutes. So it's done. It's done. Money in the pocket. That's what matters. So, all right, I'll be right back. So we're at this one here, and I got a little problem I forgot to mention earlier. My front caster, I don't know what happened, if I punctured it on something, or if it got stuck in a particular way and I peeled it off the rim, but I broke the bead on my front caster. So good news is I have my electric air compressor with me in my truck, and if I can find an outlet, I'll plug it in and I will charge up my well, not charge up, but you know, I'll fill up my air compressor and blast that baby with some air and see what I can do. Ooh, look at all them pine cones. And see what I can do with, there should be an outlet out here, man. Where's there an electrical outlet? Good Lord, there's water. Oh, there's one right there. All right, so maybe there's one out front too. So look at all these pine cones. Yikes. So really with this, rake, garbage can, over the fence, into the ditch. I'm not even gonna break the mower out for back here. And the front yard, jeez, front yard's like the same thing, man. Just blow it all. I'm probably just gonna blow this whole yard, just clean it up, and then just edge the driveway, the sidewalk. And there's really nothing to do here. Maybe I'll wait till I get home. Look at that sign, still hanging there. Still hanging there. All right, that's what I'll probably do. I'll probably just blow this yard off, and then we'll see what happens. All right, my phone's blowing up. Okay, so it's 1:30, 1:25. This took me 1 hour. First cut of the year, hasn't been cut since October, I believe. Wasn't really bad, but I'm so far behind. It took me forever to get air into this little freaking tire. I couldn't get my damn air pump to work right. And then finally I was able to set the bead. So at least that's done now. And I used it on this yard. It was a little teeny pinhole in it. And so I plugged it real fast, right in the center of the small caster tire in the front. So, man, what a pain, but whatever. That was one thing I really, really liked about my John Deere, my 52 walk behind that I just sold. Yeah, Haas is sold. I'm pretty sure I said that, but it had solid front casters, so, you know, I like that, because them front caster wheels can really get to be a real pain in the ass sometimes. But, well, I'm going to go back here, I'm going to wash my face off a little bit and drop the trailer, and I'm going to run over to my friend's shop and see what we could do about possibly lifting my truck a couple inches today. Getting the back raised up. And then, yeah, I get a lot of y'all's messages about the airbags or air shocks, and you know, I don't know, maybe they're better now, but I know back in the 80s I had air shocks on a I think it was a Suburban, and it was just a pain in the butt. I just didn't like it, you know. I don't know, it was just a pain in the butt. So I just want to kind of do something and forget about it, and that's it. Just have it done and forget about it, just like my Ranger. You know, the Ranger sat nice and proud, and so that's all I want to do here. Just sit it up and be done. So somebody's getting some drain stuff put in. So yeah, so that's the deal there. So, you know, we didn't make a lot of money today, but we got 3 customers done this month now, 3 more. So when it falls their normal time, at least I won't have to wrestle with them too. And made a little bit of money I wasn't really expecting. Yesterday, I had nothing scheduled for today, and by the time I woke up this morning, I had over $100 to make. So I like that, you know. And hey, whatever. So let me drop my trailer and then I'll be back. All right, so we'll run out here now and check on my buddy at his shop. And all right, garage is going down. So yeah, a little over 150 today actually. It would have been let me see. It would have been $130 if I didn't charge 2 of them for a cleanup. So got a little extra money there. Not much, but more than what I was expecting. That's for sure. So, all right, my neighbors. So, what was I going to talk about? Oh, somebody had asked me about Weedeater shields. Somebody wrote, I always wondered why guys take the shield off their Weedeaters. All right, look, bad news to do that, okay? I'm just going to tell you straight up, that's the wrong answer. If you're taking your shield off because you think you should, because you see other people doing it, don't do it. Don't do it. Because having a shield, the good outweighs the bad, all right? I've been weed eating without a shield since I was a teenager. I've tried it. I tried it when I had the Husqvarna 128 DL or whatever the heck it was, the split shaft last year. I couldn't do it. I tried it when I got the new steel. I was like, okay, it's a new machine. It's like 6-inch longer shaft. Everything about it is different. So I have to learn the machine, so I'm going to learn it with the shield. Couldn't do it. I cannot weed eat with a shield to save my freaking life. For one, it makes my line too short. I always like that one extra bump. And I know people say it burns out your clutch, it'll burn out your motor. Never had an issue. I've never burned out a clutch. I've never burned out a motor. I only have problems with the carburetors, and I'll clean the carburetors and I get irritated, and it'll happen again, and I'll give the machine to somebody like my father-in-law or something and go buy something new. I've never burnt out anything having my line longer than the recommended 14 or 16 or 17 inch. Never. And I'll tell you one reason why that is, and I laugh at it because, you know, and I said this last year in a video too, and I'm going to say it again. When you come pulling up into a lawnmower shop and you don't have a shield on your weed eater, the mechanics love to harass you and talk about how you void the warranty, you just voided the warranty, and blah blah blah. It's like, that's their thing, man. That's I mean, I'm telling you, that's their thing. I believe I said they have a bottle of Jergens and they dream about that on their nightstand. It's like, that's just their thing. And I look at them, you know, like, you have got to be the most closed-minded, living inside the bubble moron that has ever uttered such ignorance. Because the same weed eater that you're saying that if I don't have that shield on, I'm burning out the clutch and all that, can use 105 line. But I'm using 80 thousandths line. So I'm using less weight, less circumference, or, you know, centrifugal weight. Everything about the head is less. Now, unless I got, you know, 12 extra inches of freaking weed eater line hanging out, but I'm sporting 80 thousandths, you're sporting 105. Yours is at 14 inches and mine's at 16 inches. You gonna tell me that I'm gonna burn out my clutch or burn out my gears or burn out my motor? I have far less weight, far less. The spinning force. You know what I'm saying? It's like, think about a baseball bat trying to get started and a toothpick trying to get started. You know, at some point the mass overcomes the size. So I always laugh at those morons. That's why I just fix all my own shit. But anyways, I don't use a shield because, like I said, I've been weed eating since I was a teenager without a shield, and I just can't use a shield. I can't see where I'm going. I like my full wide open field of view all the way around the weed eater head. That's one. Two, I like the line a little bit longer than the recommended size they give you. That's just not long enough for me, and I use my weed eaters to blend in grass like there's no tomorrow. I mean, I am constantly looking with a very crisp eye at my yards, and I like that little extra bit because it helps me blend the lawns easier. That's another reason. Another reason why is just like 1,000 times a day, man, you come up to people that stick a thing in the ground close to their house where their water spigot is, and they roll their hose on it. You know, like it's like a metal rod. They stick it in the ground, they press it in, whatever, beat it down, and it has that little half moon thing, and they hang their garden hose on it. They never put that thing far enough away from the house that the shield will fit. But if you take your shield off, you only need this much space for your weed eater head to slide in and slide out. So when you have things, dog houses, I don't know, barbecue grills, landscape bricks, or whatever, anything that you have, nobody ever puts it far enough away that you can get in there with the shield on. So then you got to get all freaking fancy, you know, with how you get in there. With the shield off, I stick my head in there. Like I said, I only need the width of the head, and just slow throttle, and I'll just go right along the house, you know, right along the concrete, whatever, right? I can get in between. That's another reason. It's just, I find it so much faster to be able to do that without having a shield on. And then I guess the final reason is I hate coming up to an obstacle and I have to walk around it. And if you have an obstacle, like say a mailbox, and you walk up to it, when you have a shield on, you weed eat to the shield, you weed eat to the shield. But what if the obstacle's big? You know, what if it's something kind of big? Then you gotta walk around it to get that one little area you couldn't get because the shield, you know, or you gotta become a contortionist. Without the shield, you can go around and bring the head right back to the unit, to whatever the obstacle is, come back around, and then come around this way and bring it right back again. So, oh, sorry, I forgot to zoom out. So, you know, you can go like that and then come back around this way and come back in that way with the you know, with the weed eater head, and you're rocking, man. You know, you're moving along 1,000 miles an hour, and I'm 1,000 miles an hour when I weed eat, man. I mean, I weed eat fast, really, really fast. and I love to weed eat. That's my, I mean, if you say, all right, there's one thing you're going to do, you're going to be my foreman, I need to ride the mower all day. I'd be like, oh man, I don't know, okay. But I would try to get on that weed eater as much as possible because I'm so good at it. I'm fast. I enjoy it. It's a challenge. I grind down the weeds. You know, I really, weed eating, no matter what, if you got a weed eater and a skilled operator, you can make any yard look good, regardless of your mower. You know, I mean, it's just amazing what a good weed eater and a good operator can do. You know, from grinding down the weeds to edging the flower beds, to edging the curbs and the streets and the sidewalks, to going along and getting a perfect 90-degree edge on it. I mean, there's just so much that you can do, and I like to do that, you know. So those are the main reasons why I take my shield off. Now, why I sometimes wish I had my shield on, because in 2014, while I only had about 30 yards and I was working a full-time job for a company, not a lawn company, but a different company, I broke 5 or 6 windows. One of them was $400 and something to replace because I was grinding down crap and I wasn't paying attention, and you know, doo-doo happens. And you know, I've never broken anything, and that year I broke like at least 5 or 6. I remember. It was terrible, and I didn't have insurance then. I wasn't licensed. I didn't have insurance. I didn't have nothing. I was just, you know, out mowing lawns. In fact, I had a Kia Soul with that open trailer that I had my pressure washer system on for a little while. That was it. I put a hitch on my Kia Soul because we had one car in the family. So there are times when you wish you had that shield back on, bro. Let me tell you. But last year, knock on wood, everything went well. This year, knock on wood, I hope everything's going to go well. I'm definitely being far more careful. I kind of got big-headed. Oh, excuse me. You know, kind of got big-headed on it all. And I should have been more careful, and I wasn't. And yeah, that happened. So that's why I take the shield off my weed eater, guys. So I'm going to run up here to talk to this friend of mine. And then I'll be back, and then I'm going to do another video about my counseling. There's that counseling that I go to on Wednesday nights. So I'm going to do an update video on the latest happenings with that. So I got some good news to share with my subscribers and anybody that comes across that video. And then, you know, everything in life is baby steps, right? But never stop dreaming. So here we go. All right, I'll be back, guys. All right, so it looks like we're gonna set something up for Monday, tentatively, but I got his card because things might change rapidly, rapido, because I have a pretty big tree job I'm supposed to do, but I don't know yet. I haven't committed to the lady yet for the time that I want to do it, and I'm just, you know, I just don't know. I might just do this myself. I mean, I laid underneath there. It's not like it's hard to do. It's really not hard to do. It's just, it could be a pain in the ass by yourself with one jack and 2 jack stands. You know, you really need like 2 jacks and 2 jack stands so you can jack up the truck, get the back of the truck up on jack stands, block the front wheels, of course, and then have a jack on each side of your axle. You know, take your wheels off and jack up by the brake drum and hold your axle, and then drop your shackle bolts, you know, brake torque on the shackle bolts, and pull the bolts out, and then lower one side a couple inches, lower the other side couple inches, and then put your new shackles on, and then move a little bit here, a little bit there, until you line it up to the hole on the shackle that you want, and then boom, you know, you can have everything all together. But you know, like he just said, he said, are you doing any work this weekend? And I was like, no, I don't think so. He's like, well, one way you can get your truck raised up is if you take all that shit out of the back. I'm like, yeah, you smart ass. I got that. But during Monday to Friday when I'm working, I want my shit with me, and I don't want to be sagging ass. So he gave me a pretty good chuckle on that one. But he's right, but, you know. That's not what I'm going for here. I'm going for, you know, you get it together and forget about it. So the only thing I want to do in the morning is hook up my trailer and go to work. And at the end of the day, disconnect my trailer and go to bed. That's all I want to do. That's it. I don't want to have to be messing and loading around with different things. So that is the dealio. So let me see, what else? I guess that's it. So yeah, so that's going to be it for this video, but I am going to do another video on my counseling. So look forward to that one coming up here soon, because it's important stuff. And I told you guys back January 27th, I told you guys, you know, what the deal is with me, with the counseling and all that crap. So I promised I would update you guys, and I also promised that there was no way in hell I would tell you guys the things that I'm telling you if I thought for 1 second that it would come back to bite me, because you would then see that I'm full of crap. You know, I wouldn't tell you these certain things if I was full of crap, because then you'd be like, hey, obviously you're full of crap. So obviously I'm not, because of the next video I'm going to tell you. So it's going to make a difference. But all right, so this one's over, guys. Thanks. We'll be back.